Yo, what's happening, people, and welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And if you're listening to this, please like, comment, subscribe. There's a lot to talk about this week, so we may as well get straight into it. And United fans, you finally got an episode of the Tiki Taka podcast you can listen to.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's not too much, if anything, bad to say about United on this ep. So
Yeah,
you guys will enjoy this. There was a Manchester derby. It's the place we have to start. I've seen United fans messaging on group chats today saying, "Oh, does anyone know any good football podcasts? I think I'm going to start listening to."
That's good banter, to be fair.
So
man.
yeah, they want to. They're up right now, and fair enough, bro.
Fair enough.
Look, and everyone seems to be dunking at the Etihad and dunking on Pep, but you still got to go there and do it.
This is what I was going to say is, as a on record, like, United hater, the way we've dished out on United for the past couple weeks and months or whatever.
Since the pod began.
I'm trying my hardest to take whatever I can away from this win, but it's a big win.
Yeah.
Like, it is a big win for Man United. It's a big win for Amarim. It's a big win for, I think, more so him than anybody else in the squad. And I know Diallo's he's got the love of the fans now and all this kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I think with Amarim sort of having a so-so start, winning a couple games, drawing a couple games, losing a couple games, I think fans, especially United fans, needed a reason to believe in him rather than even the squad. And I think this game has given him that kind of leverage over them, where it's like, well, Amarim can get a game plan together to get big wins, and now we just need to back him.
I mean, do you see that they brought up Man United's record since like 2021 away at big six teams? And it was like played 15-1-0.
Yeah,
lost 11 and 4 draws.
And that's why I'm trying to say about I can't take anything away from United's win. It was at the Etihad as well.
Yeah, full praise to United.
Exactly. It's not even one of those ones where they've just done it at home and you know.
We did this with Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
Where we didn't come on here and say, "Oh, Tottenham lucky."
Yeah. It is.
City are poor, and we'll talk about City for sure. But you still have to go to the Etihad and get your 3 points. And they did that. So. Look, it's probably only right that we start the conversation with Man United because they won. And obviously they're 1-0 down for most of the game. It was boring. I fell asleep in the first 5-10 minutes.
I was dying to cut the game off.
I had to have a coffee after about 15 minutes.
I was dying to cut the game off.
It was so boring. Gavardio scored, which, if you listen to this podcast, you know I believe in Gavardio's goal scoring ability. And then late on, after he'd had a pretty good game, and I was going to give him MVP, Matheus Nunes at left back.
Yeah.
Passes it to Diallo. And Diallo, it shows some composure. He stops, he waits, and then Matheus Nunes doubles down on his fuck up. And
just just takes him out.
Stonewall, ref waits to the spot, and Bruno equalizes. Before, and then I think it was exactly 115 seconds, which is coincidental because it's Man City. But apparently it was like exactly 115 seconds until Amad Diallo, with a piece of brilliance, is the only way I can describe it, to win the derby. The touch around Ederson. And I think the finish is difficult, or coming over on the volley, trying to get it on target. And Amad overall, I think he's the talking point.
Yeah, Amad is big for them, man. And I have to admit, man, there's a lot of United wingers who Man United fans have gassed up to me, and I can just tell this guy's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Dan James.
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. Jadon Sancho, Dan James, Garnacho. Yeah. There's been a few guys in the past couple of seasons who United have really tried to say, "Oh, this is the one."
Yeah.
And
Anthony.
I'm like, oh, you know, he's going to be
Pelistri.
He's going to be X, Y, and Z player.
I remember the Pelistri shouts.
There's going to be X, Y, and Z player in a couple of seasons, but Amad Diallo is one of the guys that I'm like, okay, this guy actually has some ability here. He actually has some talent. Every time I see Amad play, he looks
a threat.
Yeah, he looks like he knows what a winger should be doing.
Yeah,
you know,
he's ready to go at his man.
Yeah, and he's got that, like, there was a time in the game where he had this like start-stop thing where he can literally, like,
yeah.
It seems that he has Rodrigo always have him in my mind. When you're taking 1 or 2 steps, they've taken 4 or 5 steps.
Yeah.
Like, by the time he's stopped the defender and he's knocked the ball and the defender's trying to start back up again, Ahmad's already taken 4 or 5 steps.
He's got that, like, short burst of speed
to
get him away.
He's good, man. And I hear the United sort of fanfare for him. Especially, it's like the Saka thing for us. Not obviously not, but just in the sense of like when
actually. Let's not say that.
No, yeah. But I'm just only saying when your team is down and you're looking for a new guy.
Yeah. I agree.
That's it. That's who Ahmad is.
It's like the Noni thing for Chelsea.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
And to be fair, a lot of Chelsea fans don't really like Noni, but from at least how we see it, Chelsea were down bad, and Noni was a guy coming in, giving you 1v1 threat, willing to go both ways, stepping up with some goals and assists here and there. And Ahmad's 22 as well, so I don't think we should really be looking at this guy as like he's like a really young guy.
That's
older than Garnacho.
That's older than I thought.
Yeah, he's 22.
I thought he was like 19 or something.
Because they bought him from couple loans to the Championship and stuff. So he's 22, so he really needs to like start making a name for himself at Man United, and if that's where he wants to be, in the way he was kissing the badge and stuff after the game.
He's done everything he can, to be fair, in the past 6 months to try.
They're cussing out Ten Hag even more.
I was just thinking about this. I was like, so why did Ten Hag do this whole like herky jerky thing with him, where it's like, you're my guy, but then I'm not gonna play. Then I'm not gonna play you, and then you're my guy. Don't worry.
When he's so clearly Man United's best winger.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think Amorim should bother playing Diallo at wing back for now, right? At least until maybe he gets some players in or whatever, because he's clearly your best attacking player.
I think the biggest praise that we can give him is when the game had kicked off, and obviously we'll come on to the City side of things, because before the game kicked off, I thought City were going to beat him.
Not just beat him.
Make a statement win on top of them 4-5. Something like that, yeah. But as the game kicked off, and we were saying the first half was so dry, like we were texting back and forth, and we were saying that the only way we see both of these teams scoring is if KDB and Haaland do something, but you were saying Gvardiol, he has that goal scoring ability.
He's biggest goal scoring threat.
And I was saying he does have the Monreal thing of like not best finisher, but behind Haaland, he's their best goal scorer.
Yeah.
But I was saying the only way Man United score in this game is Bruno or Ahmad brilliance.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest credit we can give him I
said I would be shocked if City kept a clean sheet.
Yeah, true.
Because Matheus Nunes is playing left back.
But as a not casual United fan, but as like as a guy that's not deep into the United squad, even I can see that unless Ahmad or Bruno turn it on, they're the two players in the United squad that can turn it on.
Agreed.
And make something happen for Man United when those games are going that way.
Because even the way Ahmad wins the penalty.
Yeah.
How many of Man United's other wingers or forward players even have the composure to take that touch, maybe wait for the contact, anticipate the contact, or how many of them try and hit it first time or try and go around Edison and the chance is gone?
Yeah.
Like, I think Ahmad's potentially the only forward player they have that is actually composed enough to win that penalty.
I think as well, when we're speaking on United, it is interesting for me as well to point out the whole Rashford and Garnacho thing being left out.
Yeah, we do need to talk about that.
Because we sat here on Man United. Sorry,
you're not going to come with the Micah Richards point of view.
No. No
Rashford's a scapegoat.
No, Rashford's
agenda on Rashford.
No, there's no agenda on Rashford. But we sat here on Amorim's first match day, first team sheet, and was like, oh, no Højlund, no Xerxes.
Yeah,
Rashford up top. And we were saying how that's going to be interesting. Amorim, I was saying at the time, I can't see a way in which Amorim doesn't give Rashford a chance, and try and make it work, because Amorim knows if I'm going to achieve anything here, Rashford's going to be integral to that. Yeah. So now to like 4 or 5 games later, see Rashford being dropped from squads entirely, seeing Garnacho being dropped from squads entirely. Yeah. One, big up to Amorim, because it does take balls to make those decisions, and it's even better when you win, especially versus Man City.
100%.
So there's like his stock has gone up 10 times higher.
Winning is the most important.
Yeah, it's the Aubameyang thing you were showing me again in the dressing room, where it's like players are having conversations and they're like, "Oh, this new manager's got balls." You know, when he dropped Aubameyang.
Yeah.
So big up to Amorim for that, but for Rashford and Garnacho's sake, maybe Garnacho, he's young, he's 19 or whatever, he's 20, he's got like mistakes to make, and like he's got things to learn and all of this like maturing and stuff, but I just don't understand how Rashford can be looking to try and waste another manager, or like waste his chance with another manager. You can't be on your fourth manager who's worried about your training and he's worried about your interaction with teammates and your personality.
But like after the summer, like I was fairly big on if Rashford was available in the summer, Arsenal should maybe go for that. Yeah. But after the summer window ended and he stayed at Man United,
You were calling them idiots.
I was firmly of the opinion Rashford's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like what you said there about Rashford can't be going to a fourth manager and not know. Like we said that in the summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's obviously on this contract. Rumors are coming out that they're willing to sell Rashford.
Yeah.
Cut price and everything.
Yeah.
But also maybe I should bring the Mystic Ball on the podcast because I called this whole Rashford situation. Might have only been to you.
You did. You did call it.
But I called the whole thing.
No, you did call it. But and this is why I'm still so shocked. It's like in the summer when Rashford penned the deal to become Man United's highest paid player, or whenever it was, yeah. It's like, all right, he's decided to accept the franchise player tag.
It was off the back of Rash sanity.
Yeah, and he's decided to accept the franchise player tag, and I could hear that Ten Hag's a bomb. I can hear that. Yeah, I can hear that Ten Hag has chased out your best friend, Jadon Sancho, and vibes in the dressing room. Ronaldo used to be here and all this kind of stuff. And maybe these are certain guys that you wanted around or whatever it might have been. Yeah, so I can hear it when Ten Hag's around and you're not really playing for Ten Hag. He's lost the plot. I'm here to clown Ten Hag all day. But now that Ten Hag is gone, you have to be the franchise guy. You have to go back to setting the standards and coming into training on time and all this kind of stuff. And obviously we're taking away from the United performance and all this kind of stuff. But I just thought it was pretty big for Amorim to leave Rashford and Garnacho out and win and cite the reasons that he cited. Not even try and fake the injury thing or upset stomachs or just players weren't feeling well or whatever it is.
Amorim, he communicates well in his interviews already from the couple that I've seen.
That they have that Emery thing of like, oh, this new manager actually, he knows how to speak English. He knows how to
exactly. But yeah, he was saying that like he's watching everything, how you put your gear on, how you turn up to the training ground, how you eat. So what's damning is that they're not on the bench. Right, they've been left out of the squad completely, which means I don't know who United's attacking options on the bench were, but it was obviously Xerxes, Anthony. Right. Those two. I don't know if there was another one, but those two are making the bench ahead of Rashford and Garnacho. Right. And those two aren't better players than Rashford and Garnacho.
And Mount's come off after half an hour, whatever it is. And in realistic, Mount shouldn't be starting the game. And if he is coming off, it should be Rashford or Garnacho coming on. Not
blow up the whole plan. Bruno now plays here. Bobby comes in,
and it must feel bad to not be a part of what will be Man United's biggest away win this season. You know,
they got to go to Anfield.
Okay, it's true. If they do that, that's the biggest.
Rise.
But it's like so far. Let me caveat and say
agreed,
so far.
Agreed. When I don't think they're going to win at Anfield.
When you've had a poor season and your wins are so few and far between, and the team and the squad have such a like jubilant day like they did yesterday. But it's got to kill you not to be a part of that. And the only reason you're not there is for talking bad in training or not putting on your gear correctly,
engaging with teammates,
turning up late, whatever it is. Come on, man. I big up to Amorim for all of that stuff. But heavy eyes on Garnacho and Rashford and how they're gonna respond. Because Amorim will bring them back. The players have too much quality to really be left out on the sidelines for a long period of time. But they will bring them back, and it's just how much they respond to that. And as well, I will give Man United defenders a shout out. I don't know if they were under too much pressure, but whatever they did have to do,
they dealt with Haaland pretty well.
Exactly.
Maguire,
Martinez had the ball for the Ahmad goal. So it's like
nice. But I'm sure we'll come back to the Rashford topic in the next section. But on the Man City side, Man City, I messaged you after they lost to Juve. I was at Arsenal that day, so I didn't watch the game, but I was like, Pep, it's struggling.
Yeah.
Man City now have one win in 11 games. And they struggled to create chances against United.
I am baffed about, and it's all making sense to me in the sense of like, that midfield isn't the best, isn't the strongest, isn't the youngest, isn't the quickest, whatever iteration he's done, whether it's Rico in there, whoever, even the KDB, Gundo, Bernardo Silva that started. Like on paper, they're good names, and it's like
he's tried to move a Kanji in there.
On paper, it's good names, but like, and I'm not saying these are bombs or these are chumps, But if you have some legs about you, if you have some energy, you can get at KDB, Bernardo, and Gundo, and none of those guys are really going to be 90-minute guys.
Yeah.
So you know they're coming off, or you know that like. So I understand, and obviously City don't have a goal scorer outside of Gvardiol and Haaland, which is a massive problem.
Yeah.
Which
Grealish,
is
was it 44 games without a goal or something?
But I still, and this is all down to Pep, I still going into every game feel like the rot has to stop in this game.
Yeah.
This next game that they're going to go into, surely they're going to win this. And that was me coming into the United game. I was like, I've never seen Pep on such a slide that like he's like, every game, as you're saying, we're seeing worse XG, we're seeing worse shots, worse chance creation, more shots for the other team, all of this kind of stuff, yeah.
1 win in 11.
And I'm fully expecting game after game after game.
This is where the run's going to start.
Man City just are going to snap into gear, and Kova's gonna, and Gundo's gonna.
But it just doesn't look like it's coming.
But it just, and every time.
The next game? Villa Park. 12:30.
And that's this is what is like my biggest shock about the Man City thing is obviously it looks like Pep doesn't actually have the tools.
Did you see what Pep said in his interview?
I'm not enough and I need to be better. And
yeah, but before the game, after they lost to Juve, he came and compared Rodri to Michael Jordan.
It must feel like that for him. It must feel like that for him.
That Rodri we can't win. That was how the Bulls felt.
And I'm starting to maybe Rodri was. But I don't know if Rodri is.
You know what? I and my brother says this point sometimes. Yeah, I think a massive part of it is Rodri for sure. But I also think there's a big part of it that's just they don't have another DM, right?
Yeah.
For whatever we say about Kovacic, and we both think Kovacic is nice.
He's not a DM.
Is he really like a hot, on there in his own DM?
No, he's a box to box.
Right. So you put Kovacic next to Rodri, and it's cool, or next to Tchouaméni or Declan Rice or whoever it might be. So I agree with that they just don't have another DM. Full stop. Right.
But I
think Rodri's level is so high.
I think Rodri's level is so high, and I do think obviously with Rodri in the team they don't only have 1 win in 10. But I do also think that we're not giving Walker and these guys enough flack, like enough stick. Like Walker has been terrible all season. Yeah, not just certain games or just in the big 6 games or just in these kind of games. When there's a quick I said this one like
Tottenham game. Werner.
I said this match week 3. I was like, every goal comes down Walker's side. Every goal comes down Walker's side. If Man City are gonna concede, there is a huge part to play for Kyle Walker. And obviously Stones has been in and out with injuries, but Stones is always in and out with injuries. Akanji's normally fit for them. Ake's been in and out with injuries. Ake is always in and out with injuries.
Yeah, I do think the other part of that as well is that even if they had Rodri, I think there's certain guys in this Man City team that are just not playing at the same level.
Yeah.
Right. And Jamie Carragher made the point about comparing it to Jurgen Klopp when that
that midfield was finished.
Right. And every week I was looking and they were losing 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 3-0. And it looks similar to that where they've done so much for the last 7-8 years or whatever that they're at a point where there's almost like a natural drop off, right? And we spoke about it with KDB yesterday. KDB doesn't maybe look as hungry on the pitch.
No,
Bernardo doesn't really look the same, and
you can't convince KDB to die for that 50-50 anymore.
Yeah,
not in the Premier League at least.
And Walker's been terrible, but the other guy who should not have any issues with being hungry, Phil Foden. Right? We're now
has he scored yet in the Prem? Mid-December.
Or he scored 1.
Is it?
I think he might have 1 goal, 0 assists. Right? And like you say, middle of December. It's almost Christmas.
So that's my thing is
Man City Player of the Year, England Player of the Year.
And this is the interesting thing about now it linking back to Pep is I agree Rodri plays a big part of it. With Rodri, they don't use as many and all this kind of stuff. I still stand on Walker and guys should be better. I agree with your point that people aren't playing at the level. So now it's like, right, when all of these things start to add up, it does fall on the manager.
Exactly. Yeah.
It does fall on the manager.
I mean, Pep's told us he's not good enough. Pep said it himself, innit? He said, I've changed the players.
Yeah.
And the results are still the same.
Yeah. And this was my thing was a couple of years ago, when this was like maybe when Pep was winning his fourth or his fifth, whatever it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I remember we were giving, and Sky Sports were giving Pep so much credit for constantly changing it up in the sense of like bringing in new players. Even when you think a player isn't quite finished, like I remember at the time we thought Aguero could have done maybe another season. You know, Pep is like, and Pep came out and said it's impossible to take the same players to the top over and over again, and you need to, you know,
refresh
exactly. And everyone was like, "Oh, the genius has
yeah.
spoken," and the master of squad building. But we're here now, and we're still asking Bernardo and KDB and how, like the rumors of Edison in the summer. The rumors Bernardo every summer that Bernardo's gonna go. KDB for the last 2 summers.
That was the one he chose.
He brought him back.
Yeah.
You know, he must have heard him on the phone and said, "Yeah, Gunter's still hungry enough." And
but there's no but again, this is the other thing. We should always be careful because, like, we're pretty certain we know what Pep's gonna come on in Jan.
And that's the thing. But
like, we can't. We should be careful about how much we cuss his squad building, because if he goes and pulls Bruno G and Danny Olmo,
and the squad just looks better now,
and now he's got Danny Olmo,
yeah.
Kova's next to Bruno G, and bro, like.
But it's different if Pep goes and spends 200 mil to get 2 like world class players to bring in.
Yeah.
But I still wanted to say this about Pep, and I have my little thing about the squad building. We can put a feather in that and see where that goes down the line. But I was just saying, I was saying this to you off air about the City mentality. Yeah. Like, yes, Man City are in a slump. Yes, Man City are losing games, but it's how they're losing games and who they're losing games to. Yeah, Copenhagen, you're 3-0 up at home or whatever it is. You blow a 3-0 lead to Copenhagen. Yeah. Tottenham. We know Tottenham have the worst mentality in the Premier League. Tottenham have gone to smack Southampton 5-0, and they can lose next week to anybody. Doesn't matter. Top of the table, bottom of the table, they can lose to anybody. Yeah. And now you're in a situation with Manchester United as well, where it's like the game was abject of quality. The game was so poor. Man United looked as if they were there to be killed for 70 minutes. They get one back and you throw it all away. It's calm. Man United can get one back in a Manchester derby,
and you draw,
and you can draw, and it could be a bad result, but it's like, all right, it's a draw, closer to the top, all this kind of stuff. This whole like throwing 115 seconds later, we're gonna have 2 guys on the line. The keeper's been rounded.
That's just a hit and hope. It's a Hail Mary.
I think there is something to be said about Man City's mentality of like, we're used to this team being imperious and just churning out wins and winning no matter what and always finding a way. And we're not killing them now for not finding a way. They should be, regardless of all of this stuff we're saying, squad building and all this kind of stuff. There's certain games that we would kill Burnley and Sheffield for, and we wouldn't say it's because they don't have the squad. It's like, bro, there's 15 minutes left of this match. See this out.
100%. I agree.
You know?
I mean, even Bernardo Silva called it. He came out afterwards and he was like, when you can see the penalty and you go to 1-1, and then we have a corner in the 86th minute and they go down the other end. You like, play like schoolboys. And make stupid decisions, you get punished.
Yeah, bro, see this out.
Exactly. And I agree with you. I think the mentality of this City team currently needs to be questioned. And like you say, even going to Palace last week. And getting a 2-2, Rico Lewis is getting sent off. And then you go to Juve and you lose in Juve and Turin. And look, but I'm looking forward to that game next week, Villa Park, the 12:30, because I'm expecting Villa to do what they do at Villa Park.
And this is the one game where I'm not saying, oh, well, the rod will just stop now. This is the one game I'm not going in saying, oh, well, this does.
I have even less faith that the rut stops here than when they went to Anfield. I still thought when they went to Anfield that Pep could come on something.
The 12th, the timing is terrible, man.
Morgan Rogers.
Rogers is alive at 12:30.
Amadou Onana's back in training. Kamara's back. Tielemans.
We've got to watch this space with Man City. I do fully wonder how far they can slide, and I was reluctant to believe Jamie and like give into the like Man City are in the top 4 race.
It's looking that way.
But it is looking that way.
For sure.
It is looking that way.
But again, we should reserve judgment on that till January, till 1st of February or whatever.
And we know.
Window's over, but we'll move it on. And the next one we're going to talk about is Arsenal versus Everton. In what was a 0-0 draw at the Emirates, a terrible performance.
Yeah, just #C last week's pod. For analysis.
Literally. Like, at least we have that. The evidence is there. Yeah, we haven't just drawn at home and we're being very reactionary and AFTV and guys need to leave in handcuffs and whatever. We said this last week, though we don't think Arsenal can win this league. I did also say, to be fair, last week that I know what I'm going to get from Arsenal at home. And I pretty much got that. Like, Odegaard could have had a hat-trick in the first half.
Yeah.
I think Everton didn't pose a threat at all.
It's almost frustrating. It's almost more frustrating because you can put in a poor performance and like you can dig into the team and you can cuss out individuals and all this kind of stuff. But I don't think we were terrible. Yeah, we just didn't pose a significant threat to score. Like as you say,
but if you don't do that against Everton at home, is that not terrible?
And yes,
I agree with
the
where
narrative.
you're coming from,
The narrative is terrible, but the like just on the 90 minutes itself, it's not the worst 90 minutes I've seen Arsenal put in this season.
100%, 100%. But at home, it might be.
Yeah.
At home, that might be the worst.
Yeah. I just think it comes down to everything we were saying last week about not having enough of an attacking threats in different areas. Like with Saka's getting triple teamed, calm. There's only so much Saka can do if he's being triple teamed.
So he still was like beating two players.
There needs to be someone else who's gonna step up and sort of ask to be counted, take responsibility, say I'm gonna put one in the bottom corner or top corner or whatever. I'm gonna dribble past this guy. And
100%.
as I said, see last week, the reason I don't think Arsenal can win the league is because, and I was saying to you, other teams are doing Arsenal favours. Fulham have beaten Brighton, who were level on points of us at the time. They drew with us, and then they've taken points off Liverpool. Yeah, it's all I can really ask for. It's not that Fulham have just come and taken points only off Arsenal.
And they drew with Tottenham.
And not been a good team throughout the season. Fulham have been a good team, taking points off everybody. Yeah, all these other teams have done their bits. Man City have lost again, Man United, thank you. All of this kind of stuff. A title team, or what I would believe is a true title team, wouldn't be asking for a third or fourth or fifth chance to catch up.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Arsenal are doing now as we get to mid-November, where it's like we've had our stumbles early in the season and we've said the whole fixture thing and we've said the whole like, all right, other people are going to have tough fixtures. Other people are having these tough fixtures and dropping points.
Yeah.
And we're still not here to capitalize. We're
also 16 games in now.
That's what I'm saying. We're
almost pretty much halfway.
We're asking a lot of the second half of the season to just be some sort of miracle 19 out of 19 games won type thing, which is really, really, really tough to do.
Yeah.
And might not be enough still. Yeah. Might not be enough still.
Yeah. And in that second half, we just didn't create anything. It doesn't even look like we were putting on pressure and making Pickford make loads of saves. And Everton did what they needed to do. Like everyone behind the ball and they left with a point. That's what they'd be happy with that. Fair play to them. But Arsenal at home should be breaking Everton down fairly easily, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, we should be 100%. We should be. There was a lot of things that Arteta,
his substitutions,
his substitutions that he got wrong, and like he's come out and said, in many respects, my bad.
I don't know why we couldn't see Odegaard and Ethan. That's literally my only gripe. I don't even really mind the Jorginho and Partey substitutions, and I just don't know why we couldn't see Odegaard and Ethan together.
Yeah, and I was saying to you, and I still fully believe that Arsenal are one piece away, like 120 to 25 a season goal scorer away from winning the big things, Premier League, Champions League, whatever it might be. But I do also believe that there is something systematic with our attack that isn't all the way there. And it isn't just that missing piece. It isn't just that we're missing a 20 to 25 striker, a season striker. But as you were saying in this game, we get to certain points in games where, and I've seen this all season, I've seen this in seasons before.
Yeah.
Like Fulham last week, we equalized 1-1. There's 45 minutes to go.
Yeah.
There's 30 minutes to go. And it's like, yes, we don't have a striker, but we can at least create and be knocking on the door and hit the post, hit the crossbar, make the keeper into dramatic save. We're not that team. We don't pile it onto guys where we're forcing you to make saves and last ditch blocks and last ditch constantly. Yeah, they might happen. We might have one in the 65th minute, and then another one in the 77th minute, and then another one in the 83rd.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it isn't that like we'll have
Yeah,
possession
yeah,
and
yeah.
it'll be quote unquote wave upon wave,
Yeah,
but it won't be wave upon wave of goal threatening attack
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah,
actual sites that goal. It'll
yeah,
be recycle, move,
yeah,
recycle, move. And I hear it might not all be down to Arteta. So maybe it's not systematic. Maybe it is just a quality of player that we have that can't beat their man, that can't get that shot off on goal. But
yeah,
there is more to, I think, our attacking issues than just we're missing one goal getter. And one goal getter would help a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, because it would mean that Saka doesn't have to bear the load of like 7 guys. Yeah. But I do just think that when we get into these spells in games, like I could see it from the 30th minute. It's like, all right, well, I see the ball go out to Martinelli. Martinelli's going to delay a bit, then recycle, and then it's going to go out to Saka, and the Saka's triple team. So Saka's going to recycle, and then it's going to come back into the center.
Our play is so slow sometimes.
And I'm like, miss somebody out, skip a pass, do a crossfield switch.
That's why Thomas Partey is a lot.
Yeah.
Right, because Thomas Partey, and we saw the Rice, Odegaard, Merino midfield against Everton, and it's just it's weird, man. Anytime I see a combination in there, the guy that's not in there, I come away thinking we need that guy. Before Merino wasn't in there, I was thinking we need Merino in there. Now Partey's not in there, I'm thinking we need Partey back in there.
Bro, just play a miss pass, play a skip, play a long, not even over the top, but like a switch ball that means you can cut out 3 to 4 guys and somebody can have a 1v1.
Yeah,
it's just the.
And I agree with you. I think there's certain things that Arteta can maybe do to release the handbrake a bit more. But the reason I can't get onto him too much, even for this game, is because, like I said, like Everton posed no.
But that's
threat.
that's the thing is like
Fulham last week posed no threat.
But
really.
that's the thing. That's the same thing. And there are even games where we have got the goal, like Leicester at home, like Southampton at home. Like when Leicester made it 2-2, that was their last attack. We knew that.
Yeah.
We knew when James Justin hit that in, that was it. That was over for us.
But the Leicester one we created, that was loads of shots on target. Hermanson made 13 saves.
Yeah.
Southampton again. Like,
but it still feel like, and you know what, that one's a little bit different because he did make a lot of saves. But it's just that the goal came late. But he did make a lot of saves.
But that's because, the chances we had in that game. That's where a player of a certain quality
it just can
come in and exactly.
Right? No, I agree with that. But I just still think that like
sometimes our play is very predictable. Right. And it's like, can Arteta maybe do something to maybe have a fullback make an overlapping run?
Yeah, just
give Saka a bit more space.
Literally anything to change the dynamic.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that a 40-year-old winger can lock up our 22-year-old winger. Well, wing back.
To be fair, I don't know if that's a dynamic thing. that's surely got to be player quality, right?
It has to be because we've seen the same player do it versus many other middle-aged men. So it kind of has to be. But
like, how much do we clown? We can't come on and say Ashley Young's so good for 30. We clown him every week.
Yeah, and I'll say this on the pod, Arteta, please start playing Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Whenever you're thinking, all right, Trossard or Martinelli, whoever started isn't quite doing it today, and that will happen for the remaining games of the season, and it's a toss of a coin about who to bring on, just get Sterling on now. We've seen enough.
I told you I want to see Sterling start, man. I think our left-wing options have shown enough.
We've seen enough. We've seen enough from Martinelli this season. We've seen enough from Trossard this season, from starting roles, to know that they're not quite at it. They're not quite bringing us what we need. And
I'm willing to accept that Sterling could be even worse than those two.
Yeah, I just need to see it. I need to put the like tick box.
I just need to know. Yeah, exactly. Sterling worse.
Yeah.
Cool. Trossard, Martinelli come back in, but just do it so that I can see it.
Yeah,
because at this point, surely Sterling can't be.
He can't be as bad as them. That's what you'd like to think. I've seen enough of Martinelli not beating his man, of like the looped ball to the back post as his only credible option.
No, Trossard giving the ball away cheaply.
Yeah. I've seen enough.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say on Arsenal is that we got lucky. We got lucky that it's still 6 points.
Yeah. True, right? Because I'm seeing Arsenal fans again today tweet pictures of the table. It's not looking that bad.
That's what I was. But we've just got lucky.
Gap 6 points. Liverpool have a game in hand, but it's not going to be lucky if we lose to Palace this weekend or draw with Palace
or lose to Paris on Wednesday.
No. I'm not talking about that on this podcast because I will lose my shit if we lose that game. But like you said, bro, you said last week we asked Fulham if they were going to take points off us. Take points off Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which was a tough ask.
They answered the call.
You asked them to go to Anfield
Get something.
and get something. Not a lot of teams do that.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out Nuno. Nuno's done that.
The one.
But Marco Silva, again.
Yeah, we should have a permanent Marco Silva, Thomas Frank.
He should be on the desk.
Yeah.
Those should be the next two. Marco Silva and Thomas Frank. Nah, Marco Silva, man, very, very good manager. Obviously, Robertson got sent off, but even before that, Fulham were 1-0 up.
The real Robertson.
Yeah, Robinson. Come on, we got to give him some respect here because we're gonna talk about him. Liverpool, obviously, they're still able to come away with a draw. The Anfield thing's a bit mad. I was watching the last 10 minutes of that game after Jota scored and nervy, man.
Yeah,
it just does not feel like Liverpool are playing with 10 men when they're at Anfield.
I saw that. Did they have like 9 minutes of extra time or something? I was like,
and it was one of them where like
I want no parts of
Salah
that.
shoots, bouncing ball, Jota shoots, deflection, bouncing ball, Gakpo shoots. Like, you know what it's like when you go to, well, I don't know how Liverpool do it, but fair play to them. They came away with a draw. And in terms of the title race, like Liverpool fans are thinking, oh yeah, we gave it everything and 10 men and might not be enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're sat here as Arsenal fans now, and this is where there's some sort of comfort, like, because we're expecting us not to win this league. The position Liverpool fans are in, they know it'll be a massive bottle job if they don't go and win this league. So,
I think it's not even just that, man. Obviously, it'd be a massive bottle job if they don't win the league. But with how we're playing and with how City are playing and with Chelsea sort of emerging as like the potential only challenger or wherever it might be, it would be crazy for Liverpool to even come into Feb and March with only a 6-point gap between us and them. And
with the way that us and City are dropping points.
Exactly. It can't come into Feb or March and it's 4 between 4 teams.
Yeah.
4 points between 4 teams at the top or wherever it is. Because I don't think
the gap now is the same as it was before the Newcastle game. And Arsenal and City have
not picked up wins.
Yeah.
Not picked up wins. So it's like you have to put us to bed.
And that's assuming Liverpool win their game in hand.
Yeah.
Otherwise the gap's actually smaller.
You have to put us to bed, especially when we're in this form. And I think all 3 teams will be saying that they need to strengthen in Jan. Because Liverpool didn't really sign anybody in the summer. And we're sort of so confident Pep will sign somebody, and we're hoping that Arsenal will sign somebody.
Yeah, I'm not confident.
Not confident, but hoping that Arsenal will do the big business and sign somebody. But with the way things are right now for Liverpool, it would be kind of nuts. Yes, to bottle it, but even to come into a real title race in March and Feb, and it's like, yo, the pressure you'll feel every win, and we're coming. Guys are kicking into gear, and these I can't say next couple of games will make or break. They're not make or break, but this period right now and how Liverpool manage this period, I think is going to be everything. Because if you can come out of December, Jan, and Feb with a 6, 7, 8, 9 point lead on, you would rather go into a title race with Chelsea for the final couple of games than you would, I feel like, with Arsenal and City. Still. Even despite what we're saying.
100%. Like, to be honest, and we'll come on to them because they did well this week, but I don't really expect Chelsea to still be there in March, April.
I honestly don't know what's holding them back. Maybe, Sanchez and Colwill and these kind of guys, but
my answer to that will always be Levi Colwill.
But like, I think they have I can't even say as good a chance, but like, I just feel like I agree with you that I don't expect them to be there, but I'm saying that maybe more so out of just I haven't seen it for a while than I am out of like they don't have the pieces, or they're like when I'm thinking of their attack is all right.
But also what you're saying about Onslaught in the last 10 games,
and what you could say about Maresca and more,
because he doesn't even have the players that have been there, right? At least Onslaught has that. But Fulham played very well.
These 3 Fulham probably can't believe they haven't lost. Well, they can, but like,
was it Tottenham, Arsenal, Tottenham, Brighton, Arsenal, Liverpool, who are all in the top 6.
Whatever Fulham fans were saying, what we'll take 9 or we'll take lead. Fulham have lost none of these games.
Yeah, none of them. 1-1 and drew 3. Tottenham away and Liverpool away, but they played very well. Iwobi was doing his left wing back shifts
Discipline,
and up and
discipline,
down. And,
discipline.
I saw the team sheet. Marco Silva again. He knows what to do. He took Smith Rowe out the team. He played Berger, Lukic, and Pereira. All three of them, right? Hold this down in midfield. Harry Wilson started. He kept Adama on the bench. Did you see Muniz come on? Scored. Muniz might be the starter now.
Good goal.
Muniz and Jimenez are just going to interchange.
As you said that.
Yeah,
You literally said
keep
that.
changing.
Yeah,
a bit like Bentancur and Basuma.
Yeah,
but for different reasons. Muniz and Jimenez are actually
they're doing their jobs.
Yeah, Bentancur and Basuma is a bit because neither of these guys want to hold this position down. But Anthony Robinson, is he the best left back in the league right now?
Right now, in terms of form, yeah, I could say that.
I don't know who else maybe you put up there. I know you like Rico Lewis.
All I said is that I knew Rico Lewis was gonna get hella minutes this season for City.
Andy Robertson, I know he got sent.
No,
off
I don't.
Conversation
I was saying at the end of last season that Robertson is done, and
Cucurella's played well,
and I still stand. Cucurella has played very well.
Got sent off on the weekend, but
did he?
I didn't even clock that until I came home. Yeah, he scored and he got sent off in the 98th minute.
What? But Cucurella has, he has been playing well.
But I would give it to Anthony Robinson.
No,
but he's got the most assists for a defender in the league this year.
Is it?
Yeah, more than Trent, more than all these guys.
The reason that I think we really respect Anthony Robinson is because we've seen this coming. We were saying a season ago that hey, this guy is serious. He's aggressive in the challenges. He's a 1v1 demon. He doesn't like to get beaten. You can see he takes it as like a personal thing of like, my winger's not gonna get past me today. You know?
Yeah.
I would definitely put him up there, and I think, man, Fulham are gonna have to do well to keep a hold of him. I don't know how old he is, 27, 28, I'm assuming. But I heard that Liverpool fans were saying, yeah, we need to sign him in Jan, get Robertson off to Celtic or Glasgow, wherever he needs to go. I do think that a guy like that is he's such a good squad player for a lot of top teams.
Yeah, I'm seeing Liverpool fans say, obviously, Robertson the comparison was right there in front of them for 90 minutes. I'm seeing Liverpool fans saying it should be done in January. I'm seeing Tottenham fans saying they want him.
No, Tottenham should probably keep out of this. Yeah. How much did they spend on you, Dougie? He wasn't crazy money, was he?
Yeah, Dougie wasn't that much.
But they were saying that he's it. They were trying to put him into the team of the season conversations.
And I still think Dougie's a good player.
He's got all the physical attributes.
Yeah.
He's got everything he needs to thrive in the
defensive IQ's a bit.
Nuno Tavares.
No. Don't do that. But Robinson, I hope he stays at Fulham, man.
I hope wherever.
Like also, and I've said this before in the thing, when or maybe it was just you were saying after we played them, that Robinson's out to Saka. He's running through Saka into the
no
crowd,
breaks,
right? No breaks. And I said that's coaching.
I was gonna say
Robinson, as much as and also Robinson's PMP and his natural athletic ability is crazy, right? He's up and down. The second assist he gets, bodies Kwanzaa, give me that, put this ball in. But the coaching from Marco Silva, if Robinson goes to Tottenham and now Andrew's
that's my point.
Play inside.
That was literally going to be my point. Is Robinson, and maybe we're not giving him enough credit, but he seems like the kind of guy.
No, but he is American though, so how good can he really?
I was gonna say he seems like the kind of guy that thrives on. All right, I have a regimented position and role, and I train on this week in, week
this
out.
is the system.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
Is what I do.
The whole, I have a good manager, and he's trying to encourage me to explore my attributes as a player, and I'm inverting, and I'm trying to overlap, and all these kind of stuff that isn't really my game. And week by week, you want me to stand in 3 different positions, and for 3, he can't do
Kieran Tierney.
Yeah. So wherever he does go, I hope the next manager sees his capabilities and sees his qualities for what they
if he goes, man. We know Fulham's the dream gig.
Yeah.
Like how much does Anthony Robinson, and maybe I'm just saying this because he's American, but how much does Anthony Robinson really want to be at the top of the game?
It's true. And how much
he might want to be there. That's just me genuinely asking the question.
Yeah. You know what? It's tough when the top of the game come knocking, but I do think that you're right. The gig he has in Fulham, in his mind, is as good as a gig Especially if Fulham finish within the European positions.
You know what I'm saying? Especially then.
If they finish within
then.
the European positions, it's like, well, why should I?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna start here.
You're probably taking a step down.
Yeah, I'm gonna
right?
start here,
Yeah.
and this is gonna be calm.
That's the biggest thing as well, right? He's Fulham's number one left back.
And also
No
Marco
doubt
Silva.
about it.
Marco Silva is definitely way ahead of this.
Yeah,
There is Marco Silva's already told the board
60 million.
We need
someone wants him.
we need new contract talks. We need to push these aggressively.
Yeah, 100%.
Marco Silva's got a pecking order of who needs new contracts first.
Yeah.
And he's telling these guys every week, I need Anthony Robertson, I need Lukic, I need Sander Berger. I need Sander Berger to have a new contract soon.
Diop. How long has Diop been there? Diop's just, he's the sixth man, essentially, in the NBA term, right? He's the sixth man of the year.
Anderson not Dioping.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Bassi was suspended. Jorge Cuenca came in. Game at Anfield. But no, look, shout out Marco Silva. Now look, those were Chelsea fans going to be a bit upset that we're not going to talk about that game, but we'll give you guys an MVP in a bit. But those are the 3 games we're going to talk about. The rest of them, there wasn't too much going on. We might cover some of them briefly when we do MVPs, but there were 2 managerial casualties this week, and it could be 3 after tonight. My bet is there will be 3 after this Bournemouth West Ham game finishes. But firstly, Gary O'Neill was sacked by Wolves, and Gary O'Neill was asking for the sack. I feel like we've seen a couple of his interviews, and you sent me as one on Match of the Day after. Where the players stand where I told them to stand. Then
I would take responsibility.
Yeah. But if they're not going to stand where I've told them to stand, that's not my fault.
Anytime a manager is neglecting to take responsibility, he's out there. He's halfway out the door already.
Yeah.
Like he's already like on some.
Bro, I told you from when Gary O'Neill said, the club's bigger than me and the club will move on, and that's how football goes. Managers get sacked. I knew from then that, Gary O'Neill knows that the writing's probably on the wall here at some point.
Yeah. I think Gary O'Neill, to be honest, man, I still like him as a manager.
Same.
I still think he has a lot of qualities that the Premier League should be interested in. And if you take the entirety of his coaching career that I've seen from Bournemouth and from Wolves, he's taken 2 teams that should have gone down in the seasons that he's coached them, and he's kept them up.
Yep.
He still doesn't have a relegation on his CV.
Yep.
And obviously with the Wolves situation, he said it himself in that interview a couple of weeks ago where he's like, I've lost 200 mil worth of talent in the last couple of windows, and we've only probably spent a quarter of that.
Yeah.
And they're on players who aren't from this league or from different divisions. And
the club signed some great players for the future.
Yeah.
Pedro Lima.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Gomez. But for the future.
But I do think as well, though, to be honestly unbiased and put my bias aside for Gary O'Neill, Wolves still have a good enough team to not have as many losses as they have, and to not be 100% down there the way.
We'll caveat that with Gary O'Neill has every right to sue the PGMOL,
and that's the other half of the coin. Right. It's like Gary O'Neill is trying to do what he can to be a competitive team with what he has, and he's losing players week in, week out. He gets screwed.
Now, that West Ham game could have been a massive result.
Yeah, he gets screwed though. He doesn't.
I agree with you, especially after he loses to Ipswich,
at home.
I can't really say he doesn't deserve to get sacked.
Right?
Like he was showing the form and signs of a manager and we've said this before, that we think Gary O'Neill won't struggle to get another job in the Premier League.
Bro, and it will. I won't be shocked, but I don't think it would take him too long. Either.
So the rumors are West Ham potentially, if Lopetegui is on the chopping block.
When Lopetegui gets chopped,
10 p.m. tonight. The Gary O'Neill, obviously ex-West Ham player.
I think West Ham is sort of
looking for the free-flowing.
Yeah. West Ham is sort of the marriage in many minds that West Ham fans wanted when they got rid of Moyes. Young, all this kind of stuff.
I think Gary O'Neill will be a good fit there with the players he'll have there as well.
I think he'll be a good fit, but I do always, and this is like opposite to my point, but I do wonder, and there's no rules behind it, but I do wonder how quickly you should get back into management. And I'm not saying that Gary O'Neill needs to do a Graham Potter and take like 7 years off and do Sky Sports interviews and all this kind of stuff. But if Lopetegui does go the way he could go tonight, like we honestly see Gary O'Neill in the job in a week, 2 weeks time? Has that been done before? Like how quickly?
I think it could happen.
How quickly has a manager lost a job and had a new
I'm
Premier
sure
League job?
Ranieri's done that before. Ranieri used to be on the merry-go-round.
So it's something to watch out for. I don't think there's any sort of like hoodoo or anything behind it, but it would be weird, isn't it? Just for Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, it would be. Now just be, he's back with West Ham.
And like, yes, Wolves down in a week's time. And it's, I know
and he'll have to play Wolves. Which we But look, the other guy, Russell Martin, 2 hours after their game against Tottenham finished, they lost 5-0. James Maddison getting a couple, Kulu.
Let's be honest, he was sacked at halftime.
You think Southampton might stay up now?
I said that in jest, but I do think that Southampton are going to go down. But I do think that they have a chance to actually. I can tune into Southampton games, and it's weird to say because it's weird to say because Russell Martin wasn't playing bad football.
Yeah.
For everything I said about Russell Martin, the games I was watching for Southampton, they could beat the press. And there'll be a couple of guys.
I said to you, I think he's a good coach.
Yeah, nice turn. But I think Southampton one of the most frustrating teams to watch for that schoolboy stuff we were talking about with the whole Man City thing of like, all right, man, this team is on top of us. It's been 20 minutes. We've not got out. We've not had a shot on target. Let's just get this long, get up the pitch, win a throw in or something, and move on from there. And it's just pass to their forward. Let's just pass to whoever it is.
It's not more schoolboy than Burnley, though. I'm not letting that go. Last year, bro, we were coming on here every week and slagging off Burnley.
But the only difference is Burnley's dogged approach to keeping company in the job. Because I think if Russell Martin...
Yeah, but we hated that.
No, I know. But I think if Russell Martin was to stay... And I'm not praising Burnley for it. But I think if Russell Martin was to stay in the job, it is literally 2 to 3 goals guaranteed whoever else is playing Southampton. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Whoever else is home or away. Because of how Russell Martin likes to play and because he doesn't have the players to do it. Who's that? Jack Stevens who's been sent off twice already.
Yeah.
Because Russell Martin, and it's not all on Russell Martin. Jack Stevens put in some terrible challenges. I'm seeing Jack Stevens defend 1v1 in the halfway line. And I'm thinking, this is gonna end terribly.
Yeah.
You know? So
but Company had who was it? Fucking O'Shea. Dara O'Shea or whatever. And
Company is the blueprint. He is the blueprint of these new managers who just simply don't care about results.
Yeah.
And only care about team performance and how the team plays and whether
bigger than the club.
And whether you can cut through the lines and all this kind of stuff. Yeah?
I'm here to audition for my next job.
And do you know why Company was nasty work? Because he had the documentary going as well.
Yeah.
He had the 100 points for the season before. He had the inside Burnley first season in the Premier League in a couple of years, wherever it's been. So that's the whole bigger than I'm on to the next job. I've got the team, I've got their Netflix in here. I'm shouting at these guys. I'm shouting at
got my PR out there. People can see I've got the hairdryer treatment. And
Russell Martin can get another job, but it won't be in England anytime soon, I don't think. Because I don't know if he's done enough to get a step up to a mid-table team, Crystal Palace, or I don't know if he's done enough.
Company definitely didn't do enough.
Yeah, he didn't.
Without a shadow.
Company also benefits from friends in the industry.
Yeah, and the player he was.
Exactly. Yeah. But that comes with friends in the industry.
But that's what I'm saying. But that doesn't make you worthy of that job because you're a good player.
Yeah, but it means you can get the job.
We should say Frank Lampard deserves to be.
But that's how Frank gets a lot of his jobs.
Agreed, but does he deserve that?
No. But it's how you get them, innit? It's just that.
Yeah.
Because I agree. The thing is about Frank and the thing about companies, they have guys like Pep who be asked to put a good word in, and Pep I worked with company for 7 years, and his attention to detail is like no other. And Pep goes on this whole thing, and you start thinking, okay, co-sign from the big boss. Russell, who's co-signing Russell? Who's Russell's OG? For Russell to be like...
Pep will co-sign Russell. I'm sure when they played each other, Pep was like, shit, the way they play out. And do you remember last year when Pep was talking about De Zerbi and Brighton? No, they're the best in the world.
It's the best.
I've been playing out. But De Zerbi's levels to Russell Martin. But Pep would co-sign Russell.
Has there been another manager between... Obviously, Ten Hag was the first. Is it then these two to be sacked?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're assuming Lopetegui.
Steve Cooper got sacked.
Steve Cooper. Yeah. There was one in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's starting to add up now.
Yeah. Last year we didn't get one till almost December, I think. I can't remember who the first one was last year.
Who do you think will be the next one? Obviously,
Might have been Chris Wilder.
beyond Lopetegui. Who do you
or-
think will be the next one?
Beyond Lopetegui.
Beyond Lopetegui.
Who else is down there?
Glasner. Even though he's starting to turn it around. I'm shocked he's lasted this long.
I think Glasner might be all right for a bit. I think if any of... could be Ange.
I was going to say, I was literally about to say, I don't know if Ange is fully out of the woods. And I know he's just smacked Southampton 5-0.
But Thursday's massive for Ange. Because if they beat Man United, they go to a semi-final.
Yeah, and they'll have to keep him.
And if you're in the semi-final and you're any team, you've got a good chance of winning it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and that's all. We know for how long that's all Tottenham fans have wanted.
They've done it before.
Right? What?
Sacked a manager at the final stage.
Yeah, agreed.
Of the same competition.
But that manager was Jose. Yeah, and we know Jose was bigger than the club and how many guys.
But Daniel Levy sacking him before the final is crazy.
Crazy. But it could be Ange, but I don't think Ange is getting the sack. I think is more likely to maybe be someone near the bottom, maybe Glasner, maybe. To be fair, the manager, I don't think Kieran McKenna's going to get
I was thinking that. I don't think he's going to go either.
Nah, I think he'll be there the whole time. They'll go back down with Kieran McKenna.
Do you think there's more of a chance that either Southampton or Wolves have their new manager sacked?
Yeah.
Quicker.
Wolves for sure.
Yeah.
Because Wolves can't go down.
No, but I think Southampton could easily get it wrong. If they've already chosen Russell Martin.
Southampton will probably get it wrong.
They could easily
But they know they're going down. Wolves cannot go down. Wolves have to stay up. They're already in massive financial problems. They have to stay up. So if the new guy comes in, like the new guy could come in, obviously this is happening at the same time, right? For both Wolves and Southampton. And the Southampton manager could win 2 of his next 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Wolves manager could win 3 of his next 10.
Yeah.
And he'll be sacked.
Also, I think the added pressure on Wolves is Southampton squad is mainly majority English or has been in England for a long time. And you can say that with Wolves. But the minute Wolves go down, Lamina and Semedo and João Gomez and Cunha and all of these Guedes and all of these guys. Jose saw all of these guys on the phone to the agent. That guy
Andre they just signed.
On the phone to my agent. How do I get out of this contract?
That's what Wolves cannot go down, bro. They cannot go down.
Portugal, I don't care where I go.
They need to find a
decimated.
Way.
Wolves could be the abyss. It could generally be the abyss.
It could genuinely be Wolves that sack the next manager. But we'll move on. MVPs and rookies of the week. So MVPs.
Let's get the Chelsea stuff out of the way.
Yeah, quickly before that, I have given Gary O'Neill an MVP. Just because I like him. I think he's a good manager. I know he got sacked.
I was going to say he's be the first manager to get sacked again.
But Russell Martin's definitely not getting one. But Gary O'Neill will get one. Because I think he's done a good, regardless of like what's happened at Wolves and stuff, I think he's done a good job, like you said. At Bournemouth, at Wolves. And I think he'll get another job.
All right, I can co-sign that. I will give Cucurella an MVP.
Yep.
I will give Maresca an MVP. I think Maresca's done very well.
Chelsea
to get Chelsea to where they are, to get Chelsea competing for,
and they were the only team that capitalized this weekend.
Yeah,
Liverpool drew, Arsenal drew,
and even last week, same thing when they when they drew with Newcastle. It's like Chelsea were there to make sure we're going to cut the gap down to 4 when we couldn't take care of business.
Yep.
So I will big up Chelsea. We'll see how far this can sort of go on. I will give Nicholas
points behind Liverpool.
I will give Nicholas Jackson an MVP as well, specifically just because. Obviously, there was a lot of flack. There was a lot of like, he's not this player, he's not that player. He had good numbers-ish last year. It wasn't terrible. He's got good numbers again this season. He seems to be a better player than he even was last season. So I will give him credit for just improving his game. Other MVPs, Nottingham Forest, I'll give Nuno an MVP. Yep. I'll give that defender that they have, Milenkovic. I was going to say Milivojevic.
Liquid for them. They're in the top 4.
I'll give Milenkovic an MVP for sure. 2 big, back-to-back big wins.
Yeah.
You know,
Glasner.
I'll give Glasner an MVP because Crystal Palace are turning it around a little bit. They're doing their thing. Ismail Assar, he seems to be the real difference for them down there.
I had OKC and Milwaukee got to the final of the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
We'll see that next week. And I've got Joaquin Buckley. The first fight I've watched of Joaquin Buckley, and it looks like a serious guy.
That's a good MVP shout. Is there anybody else?
Rookies. I've got Arsenal.
Yeah.
You need to win at home against Everton. If you don't, I'll always give you a rookie for not beating Everton at home. I've got Colby Covington's coming out. So I wasn't in training camp. I was campaigning for Donald Trump.
Colby's got to stop that.
Come on, man.
Colby's got to
You're
leave.
not training because you're campaigning for Donald Trump.
Colby's got to leave that behind.
And I've got Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh, for the TNT things.
Because I'm seeing Southampton fans all over the timeline saying, how has this been allowed to happen? How have Southampton sanctioned Aaron Ramsdale going on TNT for our home live game against Tottenham?
What's up with him, by the way? Why is he not playing?
He's injured.
But, like, you know.
I don't know what the injury is.
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
Yeah.
The MacArthur and this other guy's coming.
Thank you, Edu.
I'll give MacArthur a fucking rookie of the week.
Yeah.
Yo, he's
abysmal.
He's nowhere to be seen for any goal.
Yeah. They're going straight down the middle of the net.
yeah. It's terrible.
But yeah, I don't know what Ramsdale's doing there, man. Like, yo, if you were at Arsenal, I still wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah.
And you'd be at the top end of the table.
Yeah. We've got I'll give Dallo, I'll give Amorim, I'll give Garnacho, and I'm giving them MVPs. I'll give Garnacho and Rashford rookies of the week. That's poor stuff.
You're giving Dallo MVP.
Yeah. Dallo? Sorry. Diallo.
Oh, Diallo. Okay.
Dallo is not my guy.
Okay. I was gonna say that's a bit off brand.
I'll also just give Sky, and this is like a pet peeve, just Sky a rookie of the week, because I don't know if anybody else is feeling this. You can let us know in the comments, but I just feel like the quality that we see on Sky these days is so lackluster. Like, and I get it, even like Man United, Man City aren't where they used to be and all this kind of stuff, but it just feels as if these big, huge football matches don't actually feel that huge anymore.
Yeah.
And like the panel and all these guys that they're there, it's like one of the other. Or
Like
half the good guys, half the bad guys.
What are you saying? Bring back Graham Souness?
I don't know. Bring
Souness
back
had aura.
Yeah, bring back something, because now it's, I don't know. Like, I'm not really. I'm normally the guy that's there for post match.
I think maybe we need a bit less Michael Richards on the big games.
On the big one. Get me a real big crew though. Get me
bring what happened to the guests?
Yeah.
Gail Clichy.
Yeah.
Right?
Bring me someone who's gonna like really give me a new talking point or narrative or something to like sink my teeth into. But
like, are we like? We watched it yesterday. Yeah. Are we still talking about Rashford being a scapegoat, being an agenda?
But Michael will never bring new ideas. He will never bring a new idea to the show. Or like, yo, I've noticed this. I've noticed that this is going on.
Yeah.
We don't even see really Gary and Jamie together anymore.
Yeah,
they're on different. It's on different type of time.
But maybe that was a bad time to give it, because on MNF tonight they do have Thierry Henry.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So they've had to go above and beyond now.
Yeah.
But
Jamie's plugged his CBS connections. Weston McKennie.
Weston.
Do we give him MVP or rookie for that interview? He did score. But I actually don't know whether to give him an MVP or...
I'll give him an MVP for
what they know about the Texas boys.
We gotta get out of here. I'm Weston McKennie. We're done. We're done with Weston McKennie.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. The content's gonna keep coming up until Christmas. And our top 10 summer signings will be out at some point next week.
Yep.
We almost struggled to find the time to film an episode this week, but we got one.
We got it done.
Yeah, we found the time. We
Love
got
you
one
guys.
in. Exactly. For the people.
For the people. Got to feed the streets. You know how it goes.
And I was very happy to miss this week. Arsenal drew. Man United won at the Etihad. But United fans, there you go. I want to see some nice comments on this podcast.
Don't say we never did nothing for you.
Exactly. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you have a good time. We'll see you next week. Peace.